All right, welcome to Smokey Reacts. I'm your boy Journalist, and on this one, we are continuing our Nasty C coverage. This one is the Nasty C on conspiracy theory that Nelson Mandela was a clone. This is part two. I feel like this is just going to be a super disrespectful question. Unless Nasty C said that shit out his own mouth, unprompted, this is just disrespect, bro. But yeah, let's check this out. If you could please hit that like and subscribe, it'd be very much appreciated. I'm trying to grow the channel over here. If there's any Nasty C related content or music you would like me to check out, I'd be happy to. Please put it in the comment section. I'll get to it as soon as I can. Let's get into this.
uh, Mandela was such an important figure in South Africa.
Yeah.
Uh, do you remember the effect he had? I mean, he's at this point he passed away, um, and he was in office until 1999.
Yeah.
So you were still a kid while he was still in office. But do you remember the effect of Mandela?
Yeah, definitely, bro. He was like our God. As kids growing up, like a lot of the people that were already like in the late teens and 20s had like mixed feelings and emotions about Mandela because of like the other stuff that young kids don't really get the access to know about, the other information that's in like the textbooks. I hadn't gone
When he says the other information, does he mean that militant like riding shit that nigga Mandela was really outside on a madness making change happen? Like it wasn't just sit-ins and motherfucking speeches. It was nigga we was doing bombings and shit. Is that the other stuff he's talking about?
to that level yet. So those people had mixed emotions and shit. But I just knew Dr. Mandela as like this huge mogul, this figure that just like, but I just knew Dr. Mandela.
I would have assumed, but never once in America have I seen an American refer to Nelson Mandela as Dr. Mandela. I've never heard that until this nigga said this right now. And it shows a reverence that he has for him because that means that you were using his title and preferred title as well. Nigga didn't work to become a doctor to be called Nelson Mandela. Damn, Dr. Mandela. I didn't even fucking think about it. But that makes sense though. Total sense.
As like this huge mogul, this figure that just like saved us and you know what I mean, is leading us to the promised land type shit. I definitely felt it. I drew him a couple times.
Well,
Like I used to be a sketch artist. I drew him a couple times.
nice. What were the negative things that people were saying about Mandela?
This is the shit that makes me know that Vlad is a vulture and he fucking is a goddamn fed. Instead of focusing on Nasty C just told us a very personal piece of information on himself. Instead of following that up with a follow-up question on, oh, where'd you used to sketch? Well, do you still draw? Why don't you draw anymore? Are there pictures of your art? How involved in your artwork for your fucking albums and singles are you? Like there is a plethora of questions that this kid just opened up. But no, let's focus on, with no disrespect, the dead man. Dr. Mandela's not here. All the shit that he did, it's done. No, there's no retribution, no nothing. So trying to be like, oh well, what do you remember from a kid who's maybe 22 right here at the time of this fucking video? Like, it's just it shows a lack of understanding what the fan base wants when being able to see the people that they're getting to watch the interview, and then it shows that you truly don't actually care about the culture because if you did, why are you focused on that shit? Like the most important thing right now is this nigga said he draws. That's far more important. Like I don't. I'm sorry. It just doesn't make sense to me.
Um, I never used to pay attention in my history lessons. I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't really remember them in detail, but there were a lot of stories.
What's that? KB or I'm sorry, I don't remember that boy's name, but he's for fucking TikTok. He'd be doing the little face like, yes, put that shit here. Like if I edit videos, it'd be this nigga's. It's the dumbest question. Like you're a fucking terrible person, bro. Why I don't even know you're asking these questions.
About how he was playing both sides and stuff like that. I don't really know much about that. I don't know. I don't know. And
Fair enough.
there'll always
Fair
be
enough.
like these conspiracies that he was a clone, the real Mandela died in prison, and then they made up a clone, that type of shit. That shit happens like, you know, I don't mind it though.
Okay, so he brought it up.
People just love conspiracy theories,
I know,
man. So
bro.
they really said that Mandela was a clone, that he
Yeah,
died in prison, and they had a fake Mandela that became president.
yeah, and they tried to link his cell number or his I don't know his number. It was 46664, right? If I'm not mistaken. Yeah, they tried to link the 666 to Illuminati and the higher powers and the New World Order. Just some dumb shit, bro.
Okay, now your first studio album was called Bad Hair.
Mhm.
Now, is that a play
Did
off
not
the
fix
term
that
good
part.
hair?
Not really.
I'm sorry, I have to keep getting this nigga Vlad. This shit is terrible, bro. Like, you are asking such American questions, and they do not help us understand or learn anything about this nigga C at all. This He comes from a place like just, oh my god, it's so fucking homogeneous. Like, there's so many black people around him. The concept of good or bad hair, like, it might be there in Africa, but like, it's really not like how it is in America. Like, it's not the same. To ask that question is just so stupid. It just shows a lack of just understanding of the culture and the people that you're interviewing. It's just like, oh my, this fucking guy.
I was looking for a title and I don't want to come up with something too rappy or too deep or like yeah. So I was like, yo, let me just pick one thing about myself that I know is a fact. So I'll be able to explain this shit to someone ask me about it, but also that just like it's easy to remember. It raises a lot of questions. Why the fuck would you name your album Bad Hair type shit? And it would make people want to stream it and listen to it. So that's how I came up with that name. I have bad hair, like my hair is the worst.
That boy didn't even brush his shit.
Yeah.
That boy
Why
had the
is it bad?
BDBs on the
Explain it to
side.
me.
It breaks. It needs like a lot of attention. Like I have to bug my girl
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. This nigga does not take care of his hair at all. He's got a protective hairstyle and still don't do nothing.
to help me out and shit with products and stuff because I don't know nothing about it. Like she has to wash it, clean it, braid it, unbraid it, all that type of stuff. It's just our family just doesn't have good hair. My brother has the worst hairline.
That's not true.
My brother before him has an even worse hairline. My little brother's hair is like brown, off reddish. It's just it runs in the family.
Look, your hair's
Okay.
brown.
Uh,
It's low key
You
red.
started making
I
music as a
look at
kid,
it.
yeah.
but at what point did you feel like, all right, this could really be a real career? I could really pursue this full time.
Probably when I was 16, 17. I think that's when I really started making money and I
That's what's
started to
up.
see the potential in what I was doing, and how much money I could make. And also, uh, like my music really developed, I really started digging into my personal shit and rapping about it and making music about it and looking at how people related to it and knowing me that I have so many more stories to tell. I just kind of felt like, oh, okay, cool. This is something I could definitely do for the rest of my life.
All right, because you were primarily raised by your dad, right?
Hmm.
Your mom passed away at an early age.
I had stepmothers.
Stepmother.
Yeah, couple.
Okay.
Shout
When
out
you
to
told your
Pops.
dad and your stepmother that you wanted to be a rapper for a living, what was the reaction?
They always just wanted it to be a hobby. They didn't believe in the music thing. And rightfully so. You see
Yeah,
a lot
fair
of
enough.
artists falling off, being addicted to drugs, them being fucked over by labels and going broke, and yeah, like we've seen the movie play like 1,000 times over. So my parents were just like they had that typical parent paranoia. They wanted me to pick something a bit more secure, like a doctor, a lawyer, a teacher, this and that. And they weren't very supportive at first. And I made a deal with my father. I was going to take a year off and not do school at all, and focus like 100% on the music shit. And if it works out, I don't go back to school. I carry on. If it doesn't, I go back to school. I listen to him. I do everything he says, and I won.
I have to say, the more the interview goes on, Nasty C seems to be opening up. But Vlad just has shitty fucking questions that, like, man, like, this is a waste of opportunity. Like, especially now, like, I do like reactions on him, and I talk to like his fan base or the ones that like participate on my fucking shit. Shout out to all of you guys. But I see how vocal you guys are, or just like how like fervent you guys want to know shit, or like that you guys know things about him in such detail. To see somebody waste this opportunity to just really get some answers from a person about themselves, and it seems like he's comfortable with Vlad. Like he's actually answering questions, talking about personal stuff. He continues to answer questions and not just like one word or one sentence answers. Like it's very rare that artists are gonna do this. They're gonna clam up eventually, especially the more they get media trained. They're gonna start to get closer to one word or one sentence answers as quick and concise as possible. So like, damn, Vlad, man, this nigga dropping a ball, bro. That shit trash. But yeah, that's gonna be it for this one. I'm run through the rest of these, get these knocked out, and yeah, thank you. If you could please hit that like and subscribe, I'll see you on the next one.